It's the 4th of July in a few days. Well, actually, like one more day. So they're having their... Well, here in the States, that is. I don't know. All you foreign cats, I don't know. Well, 4th of July isn't celebrated anywhere else other than here in America anyway, so... let me just strike the first half of this and just strike that from the record. Well, the 4th of July, I guess that's the celebration of American independence, right? I don't know. I can't remember right now. Bear with me. Either way, every year, since I was about, what, maybe 7 or 8 years old, they would have a Twilight Zone marathon. Twilight Zone is a TV show. A long time ago. Which was remade various different decades by various different people, but will never be topped or touched in my eyes. Rod Serling was its creator and by far its best writer. I mean, if you watch any of the remakes, there's just no comparison. It's absolutely nothing. I've seen every episode of the Twilight Zone. And this is not a lie because I've sat there and written down every episode after I would finish watching it. I would write it down on this one piece of paper, which I still have in one of my raggedy folders somewhere. So I'd write down the name and I'd put down a number till I got to all of them. I even have some of those lost episodes on my computer. I've seen every episode of Twilight Zone. And I watch the marathon every time they play it. I know they play the same episodes over and over and over again. I really don't care. That's just what I want to do. That's just what goes on. So the marathon started today. It's usually 2 or 3 days, depending on what channel it's on. It used to come on channel 11. Now it comes on the Sci-Fi channel. So I turn it on and what do I get? Twilight Zone from the 80s. I don't know anything about this crap. I mean, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I can imagine somebody somewhere went, we keep playing the same episodes over and over and over again. Maybe we should play something else. So they opt to play the remake from the 80s instead of just finding some episodes that were rarely aired, which I guess would be too much work for these people. My mother says, you know, they call it a marathon, you know, on the holidays. I guess that's supposed to be for your viewing pleasure, but no, it's for the people at the station so they can just leave, just put whatever the fuck on and just go, do what they want to do. So I'm like, dude, seriously. I'm talking to my friend Saeed, who also loves the Twilight Zone, and he goes, what is this? He puts it on. I'm like, it's the one from the 80s. He goes, I don't want to see this shit. And I'm like, exactly, me either. And he's like, what about tomorrow? Are they doing something different? I'm like, no, I already looked. I saw Joe Penny's name. I was immediately thrown into the 80s. Jake and the Fat Man. That nigga is the 80s. That's the 80s. They just doing the Twilight Zone from the 80s this year. And he's like, nobody's going to watch this. I'm like, nobody watched it in the 80s. That's why they only got like 45 episodes. They only have enough for a fucking 2-day marathon. You know how many episodes there were for the original Twilight Zone? If anything, they want to replace the Twilight Zone marathon with something. Why don't they play some old-ass episodes of The Outer Limits? Now that show was on for a long ass time. They could do that. I'd be with that. I'll watch The Outer Limits too. But when push comes to shove, the only thing I really want to see, the original version of Dark Shadows. God knows the remake of Dark Shadows was awful, 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 awful stuff. Yo, there was only 12 episodes of that shit. It was so awful. The remake of Dark Shadows was like something off of Shakespeare in the Park, man. It was just dry, and oh, they got the characters McFine. Nothing in my life ever broke my heart more than the remake of Dark Shadows. Oh, this shit was like getting raped in jail. So, anybody that's watching this, can you please help me and send a bunch of dirty, nasty, upset, rude-ass, terrifying letters to the Sci-Fi channel saying that they should never, ever, ever trick people into thinking that they're gonna do something right for once and play something that you haven't seen when you have seen it. Play a bunch of remakes of some crap that nobody wants to see. Bring back the original Twilight Zone. Black and white crap rules. Yo, I should have filmed this in black and white for nostalgic purposes. But it's like 4 o'clock and I'm getting ready to go to bed. Peace.